Well, hello.
Ah,
Welcome back. This is week two of Ask Deb, and I'm joined this week by my teammate and friend Allison, who is also fabulous with a pendulum.
thanks, Deb.
Yeah. Um, so just a little disclaimer from me. The results will be provided by my pendulum and Alice's pendulum, and it's not guaranteed by management. And do you have any other things you'd like to add about what we're doing, Allison?
Sure. So one thing I want to add is that I do not personally invite any evil in. So I welcome any good spirits to communicate or the universe to communicate, but I do not permit anything evil to come into this reading.
Great. And also, what constitutes a yes or a no or a maybe or a clear is totally on whoever is using the pendulum. So Allison and I have already discussed that like my yes looks different than her yes. So we both may say, "Oh, well, I got a yes answer, but mine will be going like this and hers will be doing something different." So,
Spinning or
yeah,
something.
right. All right. So, it's all up to the user what your yes and no and maybe is. So, we have some questions. Uh, the first one was written in. We asked people to write in with their questions. And I hope that you do again for the next weeks coming up. But this is an interesting one. It was asked if there were any remains hidden in their 40-ish old rental property. Okay, so both Alice and I will be looking for a yes or a no, and then we'll take it from there. All right, the question is, are there remains hidden in their 1840-ish old rental property?
Okay, and that is a yes for me, a
Uh,
strong
I
yes.
yeah, I got a yes too. All right. So um now we're going to play kind of a little thing like 20 questions. So the first thing I will ask, okay, I'm gonna make sure I get this cleared. Okay, so regarding this 1840-ish rental property and remains hidden, are the remains hidden inside of the house?
I'm getting another yes.
Yeah, so am I. Okay. All right. So let's clear that. I hope the person that asked this question last week is going to watch this.
Hopefully they're prepared.
Okay. So let's ask, are there any remains hidden outside of the house?
I am getting a no on that
Uh,
one.
I am too.
Interesting. And just for the viewers to know, for me, a yes is when it circles. A no is when it kind of swings back and forth. And then the clear is when it's just at a standstill, at a stop.
Okay. And so this is my clear. Going around is clear, or if I ask a question and it just still keeps going around, it's kind of like saying, hey, I don't know. A yes, so we'll show a yes, is back and forth towards me and away from me. And then show a no. Okay. A no is the opposite way. So that's what it kind of looks like for Allison and looks like for me.
Yeah.
All right. So back to the remains hidden. They're in the house. Okay. Um, all right. Let me clear. Let's get clear here. Are they in the basement?
And that is a yes for me.
It took mine a long time to give me a yes. It was kind of like spinning and spinning, like,
Undecided.
yeah, it was kind of not a strong yes.
Mine
Uh,
was slow startup, but definitely a strong
oh,
yes.
okay. Um, all right, so you want to clear? Let's ask, like, they didn't really say, they just said remain, so I don't know if it's like one or more people.
Yeah.
Or they didn't even say if it was people. It could be. I
Who
don't
knows? Yeah.
I don't know. Hey,
Somebody should
okay.
ask that.
Yeah, let's ask that. Okay,
Yeah.
clear. Um, okay. Are the remains human?
Mine's kind of indecisive, but I think it's a yes.
Mine was a quick kind of a quick yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's clear
Yeah, now
again.
now it's going as a yes. Okay.
Okay. All right. Uh, is there more than one person for remains? I gotta know.
I gotta know. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So I guess if you're watching, maybe you should look in the basement. And do let us know if you find
Yes.
anything. Okay. Another question was, do spirits remember their past like we do? Okay, so all right, we're clear. Do spirits remember their past like we do?
I'm getting a strong yes.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, okay. All right. And one more question before we go on to something a little bit different. Okay. The question is Bigfoot an interdimensional being? Okay, so let's clear.
Yep, I got cleared.
Yeah. Is Bigfoot an interdimensional being?
I get no.
Um, I'm getting a I don't know. I'm spinning. I'm not answering this question.
I'm getting a strong no. I
So
don't know.
Bigfoot remains elusive again.
Yes, another mystery. All right. If you'll excuse me for a second, I will be right back.
Sure, sure.
Okay,
Now I'll explain what we're doing next. Okay.
perfect.
So I wanted to do questions that weren't just necessarily yes and no questions. So what we're going to do is I have five different answers. I've numbered them one to five, and so has Allison. And so I'll put them, I don't know which is one, two, three, four, five inside these pieces of papers. I've mixed them all up. And then we'll put them out, and then we will each um, run our pendulum over them. And if we get a yes, like they don't know what the question is, but I'm getting a yes under that one for some reason. So I'm going to leave them right there. Um, and then when we're done going over all five of the pieces of paper, the ones that we get a yes answer to, Allison and I will open them up and see what numbers we get and what those answers are. And we'll see how. Okay, so do you have your five pieces of paper?
I do.
Okay, all right. So the question that we're asking is, if ghosts are real, why don't we see prehistoric ghosts like cavemen or dinosaurs? So, number one answer is only certain deaths create hauntings. Some paranormal theories suggest hauntings happen when a death involves strong emotion, trauma, or unfinished business. The second answer might be ghosts may fade or dissipate over time. Another idea is that spirits or residual energy don't last forever. Number three is that many prehistoric locations are gone or buried. So many of the places where early humans or animals lived are long buried, eroded, underwater, or built over. A fourth answer might be we might not recognize them. An unfamiliar figure, shadow, or strange movement might be dismissed as something else. And then number five, I just put other. Okay. And now remember, we may get more than one yes answer. Okay. Because they're, like everything in life, there's usually more than one answer to it. So, all right. So it will take just a few minutes for Allison and I to go over all the five pieces of paper. So be patient with us. Are you all set, Allison?
I'm all set.
Okay. How many did you get a yes to?
Just one.
Just one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I did too, but it was funny 'cause when I was showing them what we were going to do, go over all the papers,
Yeah.
this particular paper gave me a yes right away.
Oh,
And then when I
interesting.
went back to it, it gave me a yes again. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
I
So,
did do it twice. I got the same responses. So I'm
okay.
confident in just this
So
one.
what
Whoops, I
number
showed
is
it.
what number is in that paper?
Five.
Oh, other. Okay. So the one
Left
that
to
I hit on
interpretation.
twice was number three, which is about the prehistoric locations being gone or buried. And then the other one that I got a yes to was only certain deaths create hauntings.
Interesting.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I guess we don't really have an answer for you, but
Yeah, no. Open to interpretation.
yeah. So we can do questions that have multiple answers if you, so don't be afraid to put that in as a question. Um, and if you can think of other answers that we might ask on this particular question, I find it very interesting. Um, and in fact, I was telling Allison before we started recording that at an event that I was at last night, that the question was thrown out there, well, maybe the Loch Ness Monster is really a ghost. So I don't
Yes.
know. All kinds of possibilities, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Do you have any burning questions, Allison, that you might want to ask?
Um, hmm. I guess one would be like, could it be that the Loch Ness monster is, a shapeshifter of some sort, or even Bigfoot? Are they shapeshifters, or
Okay.
are they tied to some kind of alien species or something?
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. All right. So, you want to ask if just specifically the Loch Ness Monster or like,
Yeah, let's try it.
okay. All right. All right. Okay. So go ahead and ask the question, Allison.
Okay, is the Loch Ness monster a shapeshifter? Interestingly, I get a strong yes.
I get a no.
Interesting. That's so funny.
Do we want to ask about Bigfoot?
Sure.
If
It
if
is Bigfoot a shapeshifter. I get another yes.
Yeah, I did get a yes on that.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah. So there's all kinds of possibilities for more Bigfoot or cryptid
Right.
questions. That's for
Right.
sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so we just asked that probably no political questions, like we've had enough of that. in our regular life. This is we're not going there.
Yeah, no, we're staying away from that topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
All
like the
right.
Loch Ness questions though, considering I'm on the Vermont team. So it's, right at home up in Burlington, Lake
Well,
Champlain.
I lived right on Lake Champlain for like
Oh,
3 years.
awesome.
Yeah, and I tell you, I looked for
I bet
a
you did.
chamois every day. Never saw
No
anything, but
sightings. Yeah. Well, did we ask? Sorry, I'm like spacing this. Did we ask already if it is a ghost? Like, should we try that?
oh, sure. Okay.
Because I know we mentioned it. I don't think we asked it, but
Right, right. Okay, so I'm clear.
okay.
Is the Loch Ness Monster really a ghost of a prehistoric dinosaur?
I'm getting a strong yes,
Me too.
like a very strong yes. So that is fascinating.
Well, yeah,
Yeah,
why not?
I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
I kind
Well,
of like that theory actually.
I think we've given our viewers some really great jumping off points for future episodes.
Yeah,
And I hope that you join me in a couple more weeks, Allison. We're going to try. Do you have your pendulum board there?
I
You can
do.
show
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me just
Yeah.
pull it up.
So we're going to try using pendulum boards in a couple weeks.
Yeah, I would be happy to join.
Yeah, great. All right. Well, thank you so much, Allison, for joining me.
Sure.
It's been
Thank you for
fun.
inviting me on. Yeah, it
Yeah,
was a
and
lot of fun.
send in your questions, folks. All right.
Yes, send them in. We're happy to answer.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Thank you.